local church is helping those in need to get out of these freezing temperatures.
We'll have a live report on their mission in just a few minutes.
We've got cold temperatures today. Find out when the warming trend arrives. We have some good news there. Find out more in the main forecast segment coming up.
Plus, members of the Trump administration meet with Ukraine's president. We'll have the latest on the relations between the two leaders.
Covering news where you live.
Your 5 News this morning starts now.
Well, hey, welcome. Thanks so much for waking up with us here on 5 News this morning. We made it through the entire week, through this winter weather event, right?
We're almost through it. As soon as those last roads are cleared, we're done. It never happened.
Yeah, well, we can just forget about it at that point. Any chance the temperatures are going to warm up to match our mood?
Unfortunately, not today. Although it is going to be warmer, we do have a couple days to go before we get to some much nicer temperatures, and we'll show that here in just a little bit. But for now, it's a cold start. For the next couple of hours, we do have a cold weather advisory for wind chills between 0 to -5, mostly for areas north of I-40. But keep in mind, that does not mean that the remainder of the area is not going to be cold this morning. Elsewhere, that's not included. So just bundle up, make sure that you are wearing multiple layers because it is a cold start to the morning. How cold? Well, we're in the single digits to 10 degree range for northwest Arkansas, starting to creep into the teens the further south you go, and then closer to about 20 for the River Valley. Elsewhere around the region, it's pretty much the same thing. Cold start to the morning, not a whole lot you can say there. The good news is those calm winds are meaning that, well, there's not really a whole lot in terms of wind chill. As you can see, wind chill, it's a little bit cooler further northwest that you go, but it's closer to the actual air temperature. We have warming temperatures today. Find out how warm and a much nicer forecast coming up for next week in the main weather segment.
All right, thanks for that. All right, for now, let's go ahead and head out live. JB Hunt Drive there. And Rogers taking a live look at the road conditions from our 5 News storm chaser. Photojournalist Will Maxwell has been out there on the roadways, kind of giving us a really good look at what we're seeing out there, which the major interstates, highways, pretty clear for you this morning. It's these side roads like this that you're going to have to watch out for.
Yeah, if you're going to Topgolf or Chick-fil-A, you better be careful. It looks slick.
What if he's going to Chick-fil-A?
If so, pick us up.
Pick us up something, Will.
All right, well, let's go ahead and take a live look out in the River Valley. This is I-540 near Van Buren. You can see not too bad out there. It looks like the roads are clear for the most part, but RDOT is reporting, there is still a few little ice patches, so just be careful when out on the roads this morning.
Meanwhile, local road departments of both Fayetteville and Springdale say they're hoping most of the ice and snow on the road is gone by the end of the weekend. Springdale Public Works Director saying on Thursday that crews focused on treating problem areas with a salt brine and a beet juice mixture. In Fayetteville, the street department head there says that their efforts have been focused heavily around hospitals and schools, with neighborhoods done at night.
Well, a church in Springdale is going above and beyond to provide warmth and shelter for those in need.
5 News reporter Jose Carranza joining us now in studio with more. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning there. With temperatures dropping below freezing, Saved by Grace Church has opened its doors to anyone experiencing homelessness. Pastor Nathan Porter has helped open the doors to the Springdale Church as the community looks for warmth this winter. He says that they've gradually been helping more and more people. Last night, they counted 58.
We, as a team, want to show the love that was shown to us to keep us going and to stick by them. And, when I went through the rejection, I know how the rejection feels, not to give up on them, to show them that we're not going to give up on them. We're here. We're here. We love you. We care about you. And we're here regardless of what your situation is.
Well, the church is reaching capacity, but other warming shelters like Elmdale Baptist Church are also helping out. If you'd like to help, donations can be dropped off at Saved by Grace Church in Springdale. Jose Carranza, 5 News.
Thanks for that, Jose. Well, remember, we do have a list of warming centers in our area on 5newsonline.com. Just text the word warm to the number right there on your screen, 479-785-5000, and we'll text you right back with a link.
Well, the winter weather has kept emergency medical crews pretty busy this week. Central EMS saying it's seen a noticeable increase in calls, mostly to slips and falls, cars sliding off the roads, and a few hypothermia calls. Now, the slick conditions are also impacting how quickly they say ambulances were able to respond.
As far as responding with lights and sirens versus not, if it's, icy, snowy, driving fast is more dangerous, so we're definitely going to reduce that.
Central EMS says with the threat of overnight refreezing, they're urging anyone driving just to give yourself a bit of extra time if you have to be on those side roads.
With slick road conditions outside, many large school districts have canceled classes today, including Fayetteville, Rogers, Bentonville, and Farmington. You can scan the QR code on your screen to see the up-to-date closings and delays page at 5newsonline.com.
Speaking of slick roads, here's a look outside at I-49 and Embassy. This is in Benton County near Rogers, and as you can see, traffic's going at a fairly decent pace on the highways. Keep in mind, there may still be some slick spots, especially on bridges on those highways, but the side roads are going to be more of a problem. So if you're headed out this morning, be aware, side roads, hills, bridges, still some slick spots this morning, so take it easy, take it slow, and just give yourself some extra time. Don't be too close to the car in front of you. We'll have a look at that forecast coming up.
All right, thanks for that, Joshua. We aren't the only ones who have seen winter weather this week. In Lexington, Kentucky, a salt truck overturned on the side of the road. The snow-related pileups led to major backups on the interstates. Slick roads also led to a scary scene in Elizabethtown when two semis slid off I-65, hitting a house nearby. Officials say the drivers of both semi-trucks were taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The homeowner says that he and his fiancée were asleep in bed when the semi came through their bedroom wall.
She thought it was a train. It was a train tracks that runs right down through us, right behind the house, and she thought a train was coming through the house.
Well, in Virginia, state police said treacherous conditions led to more than 400 crashes on Wednesday. Virginia Beach got a rare 10 inches of snow, the most the region has seen since 2010. In addition to snow, millions of people in the central U.S. have been suffering from record-breaking cold. Well, a federal judge has ruled that President Trump's mass firings of federal workers can move forward pending litigation. The decision comes as the IRS has begun laying off thousands of employees during tax filing season. The president's advisor, Elon Musk, spoke about efforts to shrink the federal workforce at CPAC on Thursday, saying the administration is finding savings that could translate to reductions in tax.
And the man accused of killing the CEO of United Healthcare back in December set to appear in state Supreme Court in New York today. Luigi Mangione faces murder and terrorism charges in New York in the death of Brian Thompson. He's pleaded not guilty. The 26-year-old faces federal murder charges, which could carry the death penalty. And the war of words between President Trump and Ukraine's president is now looming over potential peace talks. On social media, the president called Zelensky a dictator without elections. In 2019, Zelensky won a landslide election, but elections have been suspended since Russia's latest invasion. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is trying to push back on concerns from European allies that Ukraine has been left out of the peace negotiations.
I had the honor of sitting in the Oval Office as President Trump spoke with President Putin and then immediately spoke with President Zelensky.
Well, on Thursday, Zelensky posted video of his meeting with President Trump's special envoy to Ukraine. After the meeting, Zelensky called the talks a good discussion. He added Ukraine is ready for an investment and a security agreement with President Trump. Well, big changes coming to Arkansas schools after Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders signed two major education proposals into law. Rebecca Brown explains.
The pen hitting the official document marks the beginning of a new journey within the Arkansas school system. On Thursday, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders signing legislation banning cell phones in schools and launching a free breakfast program for all students.
Education is all about making sure every student has opportunity, and free school breakfast and phone-free schools make Arkansas even better for Arkansas students.
Governor Sanders launched these initiatives back in January during her State of the State address. Now across the political lines, lawmakers have made that proposal a reality.
So we're so excited about what this bill is going to do and how it's going to help protect our children, not only from a distraction-free environment in the classroom for academic performance, but also for the emotional intelligence, the socialization that they need, and really just to understand what it's like to be a kid.
We have a universal commitment, bipartisan, every corner of the state, to make sure that when our kids are in school, they will not be hungry. So I want to thank my colleagues in the legislature for making sure, along with the governor, that we're going to take food insecurity in Arkansas from the bottom and we're going to go to the top.
Representative Zach Gramlich, a middle school teacher and co-sponsor on the bills, added a personal touch Thursday.
How we had kids who would organize fights and get in fights in the bathroom and video and put them online. I see kids come in who are hungry, maybe they missed breakfast or whatever, and what they do is they come in and they lay their head down.
With hope, these new laws will turn everything around.
And we're going to be able to get kids engaged, we're going to get kids learning, and we're going to get them on a pathway to success.
In Little Rock, Rebecca Brown, 5 News.
Well, the governor says she also is hoping to sign legislation eliminating the state's grocery tax and to make higher education more accessible to Arkansans.
Well, happening today, the Oklahoma Department of Veterans Affairs will celebrate the dedication of a new veterans home in Sallisaw. The home was designed to provide services such as skilled nursing care and rehabilitation. The event is open to the public and will kick off at 10 this morning on South Kerr Boulevard.